God is dead, and we have killed him. Few sentences in the history of philosophy created as much confusion, fear, and fascination as this one. Was Nietzsche celebrating the death of religion? Was he predicting a world without morality? Or was he warning us about something darker? Today, we're going to uncover what Nietzsche really meant. Not the memes, not the stereotypes, but the profound meaning behind one of the most powerful statements ever written. Let's step into the mind of the man who tried to rewrite the fate of Western civilization. Before we interpret his words, we need to understand the man behind them. Friedrich Nietzsche, a German philosopher, philologist, poet, and critic. A thinker who struggled with illness, isolation, and rejection. He questioned everything society took for granted. Morality, religion, truth, tradition, culture, even the idea of self. Nietzsche believed philosophy should not only explain the world, but change the human being. And in his eyes, humanity was at a crossroads. The old world was fading. A new era was rising, and that era needed a new foundation. Nietzsche writes, "God is dead" in multiple works, but the most famous appears in the Gay Science, also called the Joyful Wisdom. A madman enters a marketplace, holding a lantern, shouting, "I seek God. I seek God." People laugh at him, and then he stops and declares, "God is dead. God remains dead, and we have killed him." This scene is symbolic and deeply dramatic. The madman isn't actually crazy. He's the only one who understands what has happened. The God Nietzsche refers to is not simply the Christian God, but the entire spiritual, moral, and cultural foundation of Western civilization. Let's clear a common misconception. Nietzsche was not saying that God once physically existed and then literally died. He was not celebrating atheism. Instead, he was making a radical cultural observation: the belief in the traditional God as the ultimate source of meaning, morality, and truth was collapsing. Science replaced divine explanations. Rationality replaced faith. People claimed they no longer needed God, but they still lived as if the old values were in charge. Nietzsche saw a massive contradiction. Western morality still relied on a God people no longer truly believed in. So when Nietzsche says, "We have killed him," he means humans themselves destroyed the foundation of their own belief system through doubt, science, secularism, and moral questioning. Nietzsche believed removing God was not a liberation, but a crisis. If values ultimately came from God, then, without God, who decides what is good or evil? What is the purpose of life? What is truth? What holds society together? He predicted a future age of nihilism, a spiritual void. People would feel lost, directionless, depressed. Without a higher purpose, society would fragment. Powerful ideologies would rise to replace religion, some of them terrifying. Nietzsche foresaw the 20th century: world wars, fascism, communism, mass manipulation, people worshiping states, leaders, ideologies instead of God. He wasn't proud of predicting it. He was warning us. Let's return to the scene from The Gay Science. After saying God is dead, the madman asks, "How shall we comfort ourselves, the murderers of all murderers?" He sees that people do not yet understand what they have done. He throws his lantern down and shatters it, a symbol of lost illumination. He is telling the crowd, "You laugh now, but soon you will feel the darkness." Nietzsche believed humanity was entering a new age, and we were unprepared. We had destroyed the highest values, but we hadn't created new ones. Nietzsche didn't want a world of emptiness. His philosophy is not a collapse, it's a reconstruction. If the old God is dead, humans must become the creators of meaning. This leads to one of his greatest ideas, the Übermensch, the overhuman, not a superhero, not a master race, but a spiritually evolved human who creates their own values, lives courageously, embraces life fully, says yes to existence with all its suffering. The Übermensch becomes their own source of meaning, a new God, metaphorically speaking. What drives the Übermensch? Not survival, not comfort, not obedience, but Nietzsche's concept of the will to power, the fundamental human force that seeks growth, creativity, excellence, and self-overcoming. When old beliefs fade, this inner power must rise. Without God, the human must become greater than they ever imagined possible. Nietzsche introduces another challenge, eternal return. Imagine living your same life, every pain, every joy, over and over again for eternity. Would you say, yes, I would live it again, or would you scream in despair? This is a test of strength. Can you affirm your existence so powerfully that you would choose it endlessly? The Übermensch says yes. Nihilism says no. Many misunderstood Nietzsche as a cheerleader for atheism, but he didn't think removing God automatically improved anything. He feared that lazy atheism would lead to hedonism without purpose, cynicism and despair, weakness disguised as freedom. Nietzsche didn't want us to reject values. He wanted us to rebuild them. He wanted a stronger humanity, not a lost one. Look at our world today. Religious authority has declined. Traditional values are questioned. Many feel anxious, depressed, disconnected. We replace meaning with consumerism, tribal politics, addiction to entertainment, influencer worship, digital validation. Nietzsche predicted all of this. Without a higher purpose, we will seek idols, leaders, trends, distractions, and call them truth. We are still searching for a new foundation. We are still living in the shadow of God's death. Nietzsche's challenge is not merely philosophical, it's deeply personal. He asks each of us, if the old sources of meaning are gone, what will you replace them with? You have three choices. Cling to the past. Pretend the old beliefs still work. Fall into nihilism. Believe that nothing matters. Become a creator. Forge meaning through your actions, your values, your character. Nietzsche pushes us toward the third path. Nietzsche's famous quote, "Become who you are." That is the essence of his philosophy, not obedience, not conformity, not fear, but self-creation. You build your own path. You give your life purpose. You become the artist of your existence. In a world where God is dead, the responsibility of meaning shifts to you. God is dead is not a celebration. It is both a tragedy and an opportunity. A tragedy because the old foundation is gone. An opportunity because a new one can rise. Nietzsche wasn't trying to destroy humanity. He was trying to push us forward, to evolve, to create, to rise above our fear and weakness. We must learn to carry the weight of freedom because, in the end, the death of God is the birth of the Creator within us. Humanity once looked upward to find meaning. Now, we must look inward. So ask yourself, if the old world is gone, What kind of world will you create next?